This is super bright behind me. I might have to. Nah, fuck it. Who cares? So it's a little bright.
We don't get
It's a bright day. Um,
enjoy the
just I guess enjoy the sun because we don't usually get it in the wintertime. So that might be a tad bit annoying. Let me like this. But welcome in. I appreciate anybody who does tune in. I see Crypto Cooter is here. We've got Tempa, Oliver Marks, Crazy Pole, CJ2 Pilot. Thank you all, Elmer. I appreciate you coming back here after the live this morning. I kind of felt like because of all of the volatility that we should probably have more of a, hey, here we are. We're kind of in right in each other's space. I forgot I got to set this up higher so that you can see me better. I keep forgetting that if it's at the lower angle, you can't really see me and it kind of lobs me together. Unless it's up higher. Because you only need to see my face in the other one. But, yeah, metals are going down. Everything's going down. Everything's going down. I think it was a psychological moment where we had, I don't know, we just had so much happening in the metals market. You could see we were making that capitulation top. It was happening. Now the question is does $100 end up being a short-term style barrier again? Because silver you see down to not. This is exactly was my fear. I swear I talked about this dream. Was anybody in here when I talked about the dream of how I woke up and my account was down like $60,000 in one day in the metals account? But it was because of what we're seeing right now. 21% down on silver, 8.5% down. You got PLG down 17%, B2 Gold down 10%, First Majestic 13.7%, Fortuna 11.7%. It happens like this. It really does. This is how it happens. But it's going to go higher than it was once we cycle out and do what we have to do. It's going to do it. It's going to eventually go back in the other direction. But I'm looking for that 50 or 60% drop in miners, and then we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. But anyhow, getting outside of that, XRP is below $1.75. But I don't necessarily want to talk about just the price. I'd like to go a little bit deeper here and kind of discuss this. For a point of reference, it is Friday, January 30th, 2026 at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to get this in the right spot because that camera's right there. So when I have it set the other way horizontally, it doesn't affect that except in the middle. Now it kind of goes straight up and down. And if I pull it, do you see it? The camera's right there, and this little piece is like, if it comes too close, it hits this, and it blocks it. Yeah, when you put it in front of it, you can. Yeah. Julie, that's what I was just telling you. That's why I have to move the... Okay. It did this to her, but now she gets it, right? But yeah, I have to see it all the time, so I guess it makes sense to me and not you. But anyway, we'll take Julie's laughter. So the miners will go again. Oh, they always go. It's just this is rinse and repeat. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been on both sides of the trade, believe me. But yeah, they will. Mrs. Stott and Mr. Stott, thanks for being in Tom's Army. I appreciate both of you. And many of the other members in here right now that are in Tom's Army. But yeah, they'll have their day again. Make no mistake about it. They're going to have their day. I might have to turn this like this so that you don't have to see the sun, because that is probably going to be super bright on your eyes. And I'll just go like this. And then it says Trump speaking. Unless you guys want to see it, you might not want to see Trump. So, but yeah. Or we can just keep it over here so we can see the markets. But anyhow, that might be a little easier on your eyes. So, might be a little easier on your eyes. That's all. I don't know. I kind of liked it when you guys had it in your eyes personally, but, you know.
No, you can watch your score.
Oh, yeah. Now I can watch the squirrels. If I aimed it a little bit farther to the left, we could see the squirrels. But that might block you out again with the sun. I don't know. What's Trump saying? Inappropriate to ask wars to cut rates, probably. Hey, what is this? Oh, we gotta turn this desk again. I'm sorry. You guys are going back into the pits of hell. We gotta see what this is. There's a breaking news. Trump says inappropriate to ask wars to cut rates. Oh, whatever he's saying is pissing the market off, I can tell you that much. Are you guys watching this on here or what? No, Trump's on right now. Yeah, Mr. Stott, that's because you're looking at me through the front screen, so it's all inverted. That's the only problem. Remember how my hat, how it goes backwards? It's because everything's inverted. Chuck David says, hi, Tom. I am a follower since June, watching most days. Thinking about joining Tom's army in the classes. New to crypto and finance in general, was never taught this stuff. Oh, yeah, that's exactly why I'm doing the classes now after about 5 years on YouTube. I've been doing this every day, too, since, what is it? March 24th of 2021, and I've literally been on here every day regardless. I forgot to share that. I apologize. I forgot to share that in the live. The information. I usually put a link in there. Let me, but yeah, I think it would be great if you wanted to join the classes. I think you would learn a lot. Because we're going to start with a lot of things before we even get into charting. So I think if you're looking to learn about actual, not just sound money, but like learn about, be your own, I keep saying this, be your own advisor, be your own analyst, be your own economist, be your own bank. Because you want to learn the difference between money and a unit of debt. And you want to learn the difference between like even a savings account versus holding gold and silver, or the difference between, man, there's so many different things, but the psychology, like look at all the emotion we're dealing with today. How many different sectors don't know what to do? How many people trading, and they don't understand what's happening because they don't understand the trading algorithms. 2, they don't understand order books. 3, they can't understand their own human emotion or market psychology, human psychology. There's so many things. So many things. And we've all been there. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. And I was talking to my brother today, because we had to make some tough decisions a couple days ago to get out of the minors, and we didn't want to. But it was time. And it was a tough decision because we like the miners. But every time we have to make this decision, one time we really screwed it up because we didn't get out. So I like this sector. It's never going to drop. And then we just gave it all back. We gave it all back. And one time there was just getting greedy and we didn't buy the ones that we knew were the real good miners. And we started to mess with the junior miners. So I've learned so many lessons doing this. It's disturbing. But it's because of those lessons that I was able to, in the here and now, I'm able to attack it in a much different way. If it wasn't for that, I don't know what would have happened, to be honest with you. If I didn't learn all that stuff, I couldn't be who I am. I don't even know if it's going to, oh yeah, it does have a link. So that's, if anybody wants to join the classes and somebody talked about it, just so it's easier so you can just click and find. So, let me read through this. Furby Trades, thanks for being a very trusted mod in this community and in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dust is Out House Crypto News. Oh yeah, did you see that going across the screen too? That's all the stuff if I, what the hell? I can block off the live video at the point of that. Anyhow, but thanks for being a very trusted mod and in Tom's Army for your second month with Dust is Out House Crypto News says nobody taught. We never get taught this stuff, unfortunately. We have to seek it out 100%. And then we have to make sure we seek it out from reputable sources, people that aren't looking to just take advantage. And that's the hardest thing that I was finding. When I first started doing this, when I was trying to learn all of this, I would always get into somewhere and they would always want all this money, always want all this money, always want all this money. Well, that's why I just do it all for free. But there is a point where I can only do so much. So it's like now we can take a deeper dive from a different standpoint. Let me continue going through these comments because I want to see what was said. I know I missed so much, Chuck. Mrs. Stotts' breaking news, we're fucked and everything's going to plan. You are, I mean, it is definitely going to, but listen, here's the crazy thing. We have breaking news right now, and you let me know if you think this is an assault. Because remember what makes gold and silver go up. Remember what's going to make crypto have this rally, if it has one. So we need rates to be cut. What just happened right now? It says Trump, breaking news, Warsh wants to cut rates. Now, that could be a fake out so that people start buying the market and we keep going down, which is likely what's happening. But at some point, they're telling you, we're going to get the liquidity back in this market. I'm sorry, I need to get back through the comments. Chuck, so you got in June and are down more. Oh, okay, I need to go up farther. So I read that about. So Chuck said, hi, Tom. I'm a follower since June, watching most days, thinking about joining Tom's army in the classes, new to crypto. So I shared that. And we read about Mr. and Mrs. Oh, Mr. Stott said that, but Mrs. Stott, I say hi to you as well, love. Mr. and Mr. Stott, or Mr. and Mrs. Stott, both in the army and around for some time now. MQ said we're getting pounded again with snow. Are you really? You stay safe over there. We don't have snow today. We just had really cold weather. Really cold weather. What was that comment? Say you got in June and are down more than 10 grand. What would you do? I'm not a financial advisor, my friend, but I mean, you are by definition, in a really rough spot here because what just happened, I could see them pumping this market a little bit. That might have been a little short-term buy signal. Unless this fails, because if it fails and this doesn't incite the market, because crypto, either this is going to incite a rally right now. Trust me, there's key buzzwords. This could be one of those scenarios where they just use the buzzword, but I don't know. I think what would happen is if this is actually going to cause something. Oh my God, this is gross incompetence, just what they're even reporting. I don't know, guys. If it's me, I'm not doing shit. Prove it. Prove that this is something more than Balaki, a Fularki, a Fugazi. But if I was you with that, it all depends. It all depends how far you think this is going to go. Chuck, let's say XRP gets down to $1.58. Yeah, and that's still a far drop, though, from here. Shit. It's another 10%. We're in a bad spot here because, yes, it could be building out a descending triangle. But that's only because on one chart, on one exchange, when we had the October 10th wick, it lined up perfectly to make that with the October 10th wick that came down. With, part of a earlier part of the pattern. So that could have been telling us something, but it's already come down so much. It's a pump likely to finish off that right shoulder on the head and shoulders pattern on most charts. That's true. Agony, that's a great observation. MQT, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Super generous. I really appreciate that. What is there, no rubies and stuff on here again today? What's going on? Yeah, I don't see any of that stuff on here today. I kind of like how on the top it shows about joining my classes. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Well, that's a really interesting concept because we talk about concentration risk.
Yeah, where are they? There is no rubies on here today. What the hell's going on? Now we got to do it a normal way. Hey, that's not fair. Didn't I do this in
Is that going to become more of a concern and a conversation topic when it comes?
Did it not do this the proper way? Or is it just not showing up? Because I don't see anything on the top. It says top fans up here, but I don't really see anything. Oh, I guess there is a ruby slot up here, but it's not showing on my phone. Like on my tablet, there's no slot for that if I wanted to donate that. What the hell? I like how it does that. It shortchanges the ability of what we can do in here. But MQ, thank you so much for that. Man, a very trusted mod. And in Tom's 3+ months with the XP Meteor says, So how about the kick for Fed chairman? I mean, if that doesn't, I mean, and then they say if Tillis doesn't approve, we'll wait until someone does. So does that mean for like the outright removal? Is that what that means? Hey, I just seen a balloon. Somebody sent a sun balloon. Joseph Euler, thank you so much for the gift. A sun balloon. Is that like the ascension for us? Excellent. It says 500 joules. I think so. Every 2 joules is 1 ruby. So that's 200 and I know I'm learning. That's 250 rubies that you sent. That's why it says 250 on the screen, even though it says 500 joules. It's 250 rubies. Look at me. Look, Mom, I'm learning. I don't want to do a 49-second short. I want to do, what's this? Would this help the background look? Nah. But thank you so much for that. Tom, who they were talking about for Fed chairman. It was Walsh. Didn't they say Walsh? I believe. It says Trump, new Fed chair, very good guy. So are they talking about Walsh? Let's see.
On the topic of independence, again, the president is speaking live, and he said a couple of minutes ago that
The president's speaking live and they're not even showing him. That's the funny part. Oh, Warsh. Kevin Warsh. It's Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh is Trump's pick. That's who it is. Basically, if you want to go to a brown nose and ass kissing, shove my head up your ass kind of guy, he picked the right person for that. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not political, but this guy's a brown noser if I've ever seen. Oh, man. This is basically, I want everything and I want it now. You're my guy because you will do whatever I say. Say as you're told and do what you say. Julie needs me to grab something. I think someone just signed it. See, we got news while we were here. Oh, you guys got to see the birdies when I'm not in front of it. See? Look how nice you can see it if I'm not here. The moment I sit down, I hate that. I wish it didn't do that. Because when I sit down, they can't see. But when I'm not there, they can see beautifully outside. They could see the bird landing, too. I watched it in my screen. They're eating the food right now. I wish you guys could see it. What happens if I go closer? Does that make it worse? What if we go farther? That doesn't help either. Nothing helps. We're just screwed in that regard. Thank you so much for the gift. I seen a gifted membership. Oliver Marks. Thank you so much. I'm gonna talk to MQ. I'm gonna talk. Here we go. Where did I see that? It said there was a gifted membership just now. Oh, it's not showing me all comments on mine. I have to go to all comments. That's so funny. It's hiding comments on my screen. It said it was picking out top comments. Well, how is that to the side? Joseph Euler, thanks for sending 1 XRP Future Millionaire gifted membership. I really appreciate that. We love you, MQ. I promise. I promise. And the gifted sub, thank you, Oliver Marks. It went to McCann. Congratulations on getting that first month gifted sub and emoji mads of me being abducted by aliens. How super awesome is that? We got such a generous audience. I'll do my one flex for the live. I do it one time for everybody. Since we're in this mode, now you can actually see it. Been a lot of work. I don't think I come across this muscular on the actual broadcast. And I like it that way. I like coming across as not very muscular. See the the history of who Kevin is. Okay. That's what we were trying to do. We were trying to see who the hell this Kevin Warsh guy is. Because I don't know a lot about this guy, I'll be honest. I know more about some of the other bigger players that could have been part of this, but I don't know. I don't really know much about this guy, to be honest with you. Let me look at this real quick. Let me just take a look and see this Kevin Warsh. So Kevin Warsh, I think that's his name, right? Kevin Warsh. No, well, of course he is. Kevin Warsh, financier and former member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors of the United States. Who served as member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors from 2006 to 2011. So what was he doing? As of late January, Kevin Warsh's current role is expected. No, before that. He also served. Look. So he's succeeding Jerome Powell, but he also serves as a lecturer at Stanford, a fellow of the Hoover Institution, a partner of Duquesne Family Office, and sits on the board of UPS. So I'm gonna be honest, like, man, I don't know about that pick. What does that mean for us? That means I know one thing about him, though. Reading through this, it looks like he might like crypto. Let me read this a little bit deeper. I want to go back to the stance on crypto. I was talking about it. Kevin Warsh holds a nuanced, pragmatic view of cryptocurrency, generally regarding Bitcoin as an important asset and a potential policeman for policy rather than a threat to the dollar. While not an evangelist, he has personal investments in crypto firms, supports digital asset innovation in the U.S., but remains skeptical of crypto as a primary medium of exchange. So he would be a good policeman for policy. Warsh has stated that Bitcoin provides necessary market discipline for the financial system, acting as a signal to policymakers when they make errors. An asset-first currency. He does not view Bitcoin as a replacement for the U.S. dollar, but rather as the newest and coolest software that can coexist as an alternative store of value. I hate the word of store of value because he already sounds like a store of idiot. Now he sounds like a dope. Comparing it to a modern version of gold, which the only modern version of gold, and don't let them feed you this junk, is tokenized gold. That's the only modern version of gold. If I have a piece of shit and I make a digital picture of it, but I call it a piece of fruit, it doesn't mean that digital piece of shit now turns into digital fruit. It's still a piece of shit. It'll always be a piece of shit. The fruit will always be fruit. You can't turn that into it just because you turn it digital. Like, seriously, it's crazy. Anyhow, let's continue. In industry ties, he has held advisory roles such as with crypto index manager Bitwise and previously invested in crypto-related projects. I bet he has. He's a regulatory pragmatism. I can't even say it. Unlike some, he is not considered hostile to the sector, but has emphasized the the need for clear rules regarding stablecoins and supports a wholesale CBDC for interbank use. I bet he does. This goes into Ripple becoming their own bank. This comes into all of these ETFs. They're basically phasing out cryptocurrency without saying it. Just listen to the buzzwords. He wants clear rules regarding stablecoins and supports a wholesale CBDC for interbank use. Oh, that doesn't leave much room for retail, I'll tell you what. Market impact. Despite his personal openness to Bitcoin, his reputation for preferring tighter monetary policy and higher real interest rates. Hey, the first smart thing I've heard about him this entire day. I also think we need much higher interest rates. Has previously created tension with or jitters for risk assets like cryptocurrency, which thrive on easy money. That would be a problem. That would kind of feel like a double-edged sword here then. Despite his, Warsh has argued that while Bitcoin's volatility makes it unsuitable as a day-to-day medium of exchange, so it's not a store of value. It holds value in a broader portfolio context. So he literally said it's like a store of value, but it says it's not. So he's talking out two sides of his fucking ear. Like, what the hell? If it's not it, whatever. Why do I even bother trying to deal with these fools? So, I don't know. If he's a proponent of raising rates, I don't, that's not, for me, that doesn't tingle my ningle. And I don't think this is going to spark the market. I think the markets are just going to continue on their objective here. That didn't ease my mind at all. Did it ease yours? No, that just made it worse. Same MQ. I can't say much. I forgot we're a family-friendly show. He sounds like a fantastic, fine human being with nothing but his own interests. I mean, everybody's interests at heart. And I'm sure he will do the right thing for his for his constituents, not his own personal investments. And by constituents, I mean his relatives and family and fellow members of his. Well, never mind. He sounds like a great human being. Nothing but the utmost confidence in these markets to continue doing exactly what they're doing. Yeah, I know a lot of people like it. Why do people like this pick? He sounds like he's gonna be. He actually sounds like he's gonna take Powell to a whole new level. This doesn't sound good to me. Oh, me too. I'm all fired up too. But he always gets it wrong. Retail always gets it wrong. I have to come in here and wear a dunce's hat one day. Unfortunately. Oh! Speaking of hats, my new hat came in. I just haven't done anything with it. I can't wait. Oh, I'm going to keep reading his history, MQ. Oh, I'm going to keep reading it. So I'm going to actually go deeper. Can you give me a detailed breakdown of Kevin Warsh, the new Fed chairman picked by Trump, prior to 2010? Okay. So prior to 2010 career, which is defined by a rapid ascent through Wall Street, the White House, and the Federal Reserve during the height of the global financial crisis, because we talked about it from about 2012 or so. So the breakdown of his career and influence leading up to 2010. So Wall Street roots. 1995 to 2002, after graduating from Harvard Law School, Warsh joined Morgan Stanley, shocker there, in New York. His role was the vice president and executive director in the mergers and acquisitions department. Oh, this is getting even worse by the second. He served as a financial advisor to companies in the manufacturing, technology, and professional services sector. The significance of this is this period gave him the market savvy and deep Wall Street connections that later became his trademark as Fed. Warsh left Wall Street to join the George W. Bush administration at 31. National Economic Council, NEC, served as a special assistant to President for... Oh, that's great. He also served under the first... Wait a minute. Oh, good. He was part of the debacle in the early years when I graduated high school. Some great event happened in 2002. Interesting. In the United States of America. Well, 2001. He just happened. Anyhow. So Warsh left Wall Street to join the George W. Bush administration on the NEC, served as special assistant to the president for economic policy and executive secretary of the NEC. His key responsibilities, he was the administration's chief liaison to financial regulators, including the Fed, and advising on capital markets, banking, and securities. Man, this guy's got some really deep ties into the banking sector. And actually all capital markets, honestly. He was a member of the President's Working Group on Financial Markets, often nicknamed the Plunge Protection Team. I remember when they had that. This guy was at the heart of it. I'll be damned. I'm not surprised. He was the Federal Reserve Governor in 2006. At the age of 35, Warsh was sworn in as the youngest governor in history of the Federal Reserve. He was a crisis emissary. During the 2008 financial crisis, Chairman Ben Bernanke leaned heavily on Warsh as the Fed's primary channel to Wall Street. Oh boy. He's just another one out of the long line of people they set up to be in this spot. This is no more a buy luck thing, man. He played a central role in negotiating the sale of Bear Stearns to J.P. Morgan Chase. I bet he did. Managing the fallout of the Lehman Brothers collapse, structuring the bailout of AIG. Say no more. International role. He served as the Fed's representative to the G20 as an to emerging economies in Asia. His monetary stance prior to 2010, Warsh was often viewed as a hawk. He was notably skeptical of the Fed's aggressive interest rate cuts in the first round of quantitative easing, fearing they would trigger long-term inflation. So this guy's the exact opposite of what everybody wants. Everybody wants rates to be cut. This guy is a believer in higher rates and quantitative tightening. This could have been the biggest wool they ever pulled over anybody's head in the history of crypto. Think about it. Because this guy's the complete opposite of everything they just said, of what he believes in. They can say all they want, but they're putting together a team to assault crypto. They're trying to put it out of business. So, is it safe to say that this guy wants to raise rates and go back to quantitative tightening in a very big way, and he wants to kind of screw over cryptocurrency and allow banking institutions to have a bilateral movement from the ETFs into trading crypto exchange funds without actually having to touch the crypto markets while single-handedly wanting to put financial regulations? Did I get this right?
It's a complicated picture, but you've hit on several of the key tensions that define Kevin Warsh's economic philosophy. He isn't necessarily looking to screw over crypto in a personal sense, but his vision for a sound dollar could definitely create a rougher environment for the speculative side of the market. Here is a breakdown of where your assessment hits the mark and where the nuance lies. 1. Interest rates and quantitative tightening, QT. The hawk factor. You are right that he is historically a hawk. He has been one of the most vocal critics of the Fed's massive bond buying programs, quantitative easing. The conflict. President Trump wants lower rates. Warsh has recently signaled he might support rate cuts if they are tied to a productivity boom from AI. However, his big way priority is shrinking the Fed's balance sheet, aggressive QT. He wants to stop the printing press, which generally drains the easy money liquidity that fueled the crypto bull runs of the past decade. 2. The bilateral movement, banks versus ETFs. Your point about banking institutions and ETFs is very insightful. Warsh is a proponent of narrow banking and institutional stability. Institutional shift. He is likely to favor a system where traditional banks and regulated vehicles, like ETFs, handle the flow of money, rather than...
This is what I'm talking about. He's against
decentralized exchanges. The Henley middleman play. There is a strong theory that a Warsh-led Fed would push for regulations that force crypto to fit into the existing banking plumbing. This could mean more synthetic
You can't make this up
exposure,
if you
ETFs
tried.
and bank-held assets, and stricter reserve requirements for stablecoins, making it harder for decentralized players to compete with the big banks. 3. His stance on cryptocurrency. Warsh's views are a bit of a good news, bad news situation for crypto holders. The good news. He has called Bitcoin a durable asset class, and the new gold...
The guy's an idiot.
He doesn't want to ban it. He views it as a policeman that tells the Fed when they are doing a bad job with the dollar. The bad news. He has expressed skepticism about decentralized crypto being a substitute for the dollar. Instead, he has advocated for a wholesale CBDC, a digital dollar used...
Okay, can we go into, forget all this, can we skip down to the summary of the Warsh era outlook so we can see what the projection is here?
Given your focus on market trends and technical analysis, the Warsh era outlook is shaping up to be a regime change that...
No. Don't start creating something else. I want you to read where you put summary of the Warsh era outlook and read what it says below it.
September 2024, and it's remarkable. They're pretty much flat over that.
Understood. Based on the Warsh-era outlook I provided earlier, here is the specific breakdown of what lies
They're going to
ahead under
project
his
what he's
leadership.
going to do.
The summary of the Warsh-era outlook. The projection for the next 4 years is a strategic reset that moves away from the money printing model of the last decade. Warsh is expected to implement a barbell strategy, tactical rate cuts to satisfy the White House, balanced by aggressive quantitative tightening (QT).
That would be a fucking disgrace. Are you kidding me?
2026 to 2030. The liquidity vacuum. Unlike previous Fed chairs who used bond buying (QE) to support the economy,
Oh
Warsh
my
wants to
God.
aggressively shrink the Fed's balance sheet. He views the current $7 plus trillion balance sheet as crowding.
So he wants to lower rates and tighten at the... What the hell is that? What is that even? He's going to lower rates and tighten the budget. But if he removes rate... It's not going to matter. You're not going to be able to remove the budget if you lower rates. You're not going to have enough money coming in from everything else to lower the budget. The liquidity vacuum is right. Holy shit. We're worse. We might be worse than I thought. Is this really what they're going to implement? They're going to go to quantitative tightening while cutting rates at the same time? This must be the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This would be like raising rates while printing money. It's just as stupid. I don't understand. So they're going to stop printing money and they're going to tighten? That's just as stupid as printing money and raising rates. It's the same idiotic... Oh, boy.
Out private markets. For you as a trader, this means the era of limitless liquidity for small-cap altcoins is likely coming to an end. The sound money discipline. Warsh believes inflation is a policy choice.
They're
Intends
killing
to
crypto
use the
in real
sound dollar
time.
as a tool for American economic dominance. This likely creates a survival of the fittest environment for crypto assets. Bitcoin may thrive as digital gold, but speculative meme liquidity will likely dry up as the dollar strengthens. Institutional enclosure of crypto. This is the bilateral movement you suspected. Warsh is an institutionalist. He is projected to push for regulations that force stablecoin issuers, like Tether or USDC, to operate like narrow banks, 100% reserves in treasuries. This effectively brings the plumbing of crypto into the Federal Reserve's oversight, allowing banks to handle the trades while keeping the speculative fire contained. Wholesale versus retail digital currency. He is a firm no on a retail CBDC, a digital dollar for everyday citizens, because he views it as a privacy nightmare.
Okay, real quick, what does it mean for XTC? It means that that'll be fine in the long term, but it means one of my fears is that everything's going to break down the long-term pattern, and we're going to end up being in a 10x scenario, but we flip to zero in some cases. So does that mean XTC would be at 0.0 something? And then all of a sudden it'd make a big move by coming back up to a penny? Like, that's what I mean. So we have to reevaluate where we accumulate these, because if they're drawing this up, crypto as a whole can never go back to where it was at. You guys don't understand. Not only will we never hit those higher targets, we're going to invalidate everything that it looks like we can do. And we can never go there again. The era of unregulated money, unregulated funding, unregulated trading, it's over. It's over if this is what happens. It would 100% prove what I said about it's over. And now we wouldn't even get an exit rally if this is the case. This would be the biggest slap in the face and the biggest psyop in the history of the U.S. government, but we called it in this community before it happened. We seen what was happening. We even seen it with gold and silver. We said that this is... Look at... guys, I'm not joking. My dream would have come true for me today if I was still in the mining sector. I lost so much money today at 15.4% on First Majestic. Just on First Majestic today alone, I'd be down like $8,000 almost, $7,000. On Hecla Mining, I'd be down another $3,100. On Fortuna, I'd be down another $3,000. On B2 Gold, I'd be down another couple, $3,000. Forget about PLG, I'd have been down another. That's down 19.3%. This is the worst possible scenario if you wanted this dump to end. Let's continue. This is a disaster.
Instead, he is projected to launch a wholesale digital dollar, a blockchain system used exclusively by big banks to settle billion-dollar trades instantly.
Okay, so what does that mean? XRP was phased out. And our only hope of price rise is it's a gas token, and the RUSD is one of the stables. Did you hear that line? It said, he said, can you please repeat that last sentence? Can you start from the last sentence again?
He will likely give the president the lower interest rates he wants, but he will take away the liquidity punch bowl, QE, that the crypto markets have relied on since 2020. It's a trade-off. Higher legitimacy, but lower explosive growth. To break that down for your upcoming February classes...
No! Go back to reading what you were reading. I don't want you to break anything down for anything. I want you to continue to read down what that means for what they were going to do for the digital dollar and create a dollar for the bank. Just keep reading where you were at and continue reading the rest of what was written.
He will likely give the president the lower interest rates he wants, but he will take away the liquidity punch bowl, QE, that the crypto markets have relied on since 2020. It's a trade-off. Higher legitimacy, but lower explosive growth. To continue reading from where we left off regarding the digital dollar...
Here we go, listen.
The wholesale digital dollar plan.
That's it. The wholesale digital dollar plan. This would have completely fuck everything everybody wants for XRP if they're looking at it to be unanimous dollar. And we already know that's not happening. But that would completely put to rest the argument that XRP is going to be used as a universal dollar. Just remember that. It's something deeper, like I've said, but this takes that whole assertion away.
Warsh's vision for a digital dollar is not for the public. It is a specialized tool for the banking elite. He has explicitly proposed an American-style narrow CBDC, often referred to as a wholesale digital dollar, bank-to-bank only. Unlike a retail CBDC, which would be a digital wallet for every citizen, Warsh's version is a high-speed, blockchain-based settlement layer used exclusively by the government, financial firms, and foreign central banks. The digital fortress. He argues that the US needs this to defend the dollar's dominance.
If it's not used as a public... What have I always speculated? If XRP was ever going to be used for something, they could use it as the whole liquidity for the system. It just wouldn't be traded publicly. I see this is where I could start the conspiracy. He just said it. If I was extra bad, but anyhow, let's continue.
Against rivals like China. By putting the dollar on a Fed-controlled blockchain for interbank transfers, he wants to make the global banking plumbing faster and cheaper for institutions, effectively making the traditional dollar more competitive without giving power to decentralized crypto. No private wallets. He remains a firm no on any digital dollar that regular people would hold in an app. He views that as a threat to privacy and...
So, anything on a public blockchain that you can hold in a wallet would not be used for this. Anything out there is what they're telling you. XRP is out there on that blockchain. I told you it's going to have to come from a different source for XRP, and it may from Japan.
A way for the government to cross the boundaries of power. The institutional bilateral movement. This is the core of the strategy you identified, creating a way for banks to trade the value of crypto without having to deal with the actual market of crypto. Tokenized assets, RWA. Warsh is a major proponent of real-world assets, RWA, on the blockchain. He wants to see things like treasury bonds and real estate token.
Yes, Mr. Stott, this would be why I was very mad at the XRP ledger when they allowed the back end for the government to do basically a back end, I called it a wormhole or whatever, but like a hook to allow you to do it. Yeah, no, this is bad. Oh, this is bad. This would be the exact reason why you would have gold and silver. Because when they have digital, you're always going to have an underground market and they're going to move with real money. Remember that. You can generally get around what's happening if you have real money that's universally accepted. You ever even watch the movies? I know it sounds stupid, but you'll have people that can transact in gold and silver and everybody else is chipped. But you have these other little cities that exist, but you have to have so much money, and they usually deal with the metals outside of just a digital screen. And believe it or not, that holds more weight than people think if you can get to where you're going and survive long enough. We may not survive long enough because they may wipe us out first, but if you could theoretically get to the finish line, you'd be in a much better position if you had physical money, because that's universally transcending. So no matter where you go, you know, so this but this is all fucked. This is the markets. Are they even? I would be shocked if they're responding in a positive way.
This allows banks to move these assets back and forth.
Get out now, Chuck. I've been saying it since January of 25. Get out, the market's over. I've been saying it. I've said it back in January of 25. I did videos on it back then when I switched out at the time. Over 75% of my crypto, I sold it all after the bull market. I went into metals. And now I sounded the alarm that I was out of metals 2 days before this drop. The last of it sold yesterday. I'm not telling you to get out now. I'm not a financial advisor, and we've already come down 65% in some cases. But I'm just saying this doesn't sound good for crypto. I don't know. Maybe it will be good for crypto. I'm just an average idiot. But I don't know, Chuck. I wish I did. I wish I did, but I'm going to have to see some evidence that this is reversing. Because right now, it doesn't seem good. Let me continue. Let me see, and then we'll continue this. I just want to see where the market's at. Platinum's down 17.7%. Gold's down 10% now. Silver down 26.4% to $85. I swear to God, to everybody, that I talked about this scenario 2 days ago in real time. 2 days ago in real time. In real time, do you guys remember? And I even played it out in a dream to all of you. Me and MQ and Nick and everybody were talking about this. Do you guys understand the game at play now? That you're seeing it in real freaking time. And I always get looked at like an asshole. Remember I came on and said 100 and something people unsubscribed because of what I just said that yesterday, and that was yesterday from the day before. That's what's happening. It sucks. But eventually, we're going to hit that part again, but we have topped. And it is ugly. What takes months and years to put it up, it comes apart in days, if not weeks, and then it resets itself again. There's going to be such a huge bounce back once this breaks down, because you're going to get into capitulation. Look, we just B2 Gold, my last share sold at what, 558, 560 yesterday? Just what I had left, and I had sold the week before too. I mean, look what happened already. It was at like 560 yesterday, and now it's already down to $4.92. I sold the last of it on the air, as a matter of fact. And it was coming back. It actually put in a gain yesterday, I believe. Oh, I did, MQ. I absolutely expected this. It happens every single time. Every single time. That's why I talked about I've been waiting for the 30% drop in 1 day on silver, 10 to 20% on B2 Gold. I'm actually waiting for the miners not to be down 12 and 16% or 20, but a 30% maybe. And this was my fear. I would wake up and this is what would happen, and I wouldn't know how to respond. I think certain cryptos, yes, my XXX HOS strategy is a strategy for a reason. I think they have sound legitimacy long term, but it's the price level we have to worry about. It's the price level. Now, how far can we come down? I don't know, because we're coming to areas where we're going to find out very quickly. This area we're at right now, we're holding for a reason, because if we come through this 174, we have to go to $1.68, I believe. If we break down $1.68, that's when we're really going to know. I'm QT. Thanks for the $4.99 super chat. You said now you see why markets are crashing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember, we shared, how many times over the past 2 weeks have you seen me share that? More than you've ever seen me share in a couple of years, in fact. I showed you the timetable of times, it's the ABC categories. The times to buy, sell, and step away, basically. We're in the B time, and it was coming to an end on 26th. And that classification simply says you're buying up or you sell, you're selling, because this is the time when we're going to have it's going to be a perpetual 6-year downswing, which is scary to think. And it said all assets, that's including gold and silver, once it had its pump. It's always on the money. It's been through all history. It's scary how accurate it is. MQ is not a dummy. Absolutely, Crypto Cooter. I agree with that. You say Crypto Cooter says my conspiracy for the day is they try to force retail in the wallets for safety, but in reality, it keeps them holding the bag on. Think about it. Everybody complain. Just think about how this is. Everybody says my crypto's not safe on a exchange, and if you have a tier 1 exchange and it has fire blocks, it has a digital footprint for you, but obviously you have to use your license, and it has to be a KYC exchange. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's got a digital footprint. It ain't linked to you. They don't have to give it back to you. You got no recourse. I keep saying that too. But as far as what you're saying, it's 100% correct. Most people who have a wallet, they have a wallet through the Google Play Store, through their computer, through their app store, through their all of it. That's worse to me being on there than it is on the exchange. The exchange is at least they have offsetting ways. If it's actually there's ways to get most people who have been screwed on an exchange, and I was screwed on an exchange, they have fire blocks on the one. Uphold screwed me, but I learned my lesson there. I know what I'm doing now. I know how to have the evidence, and I know what to do now in this environment. I didn't have the experience then. So I'm not going to get that's why I gave out a very stark warning several months ago. It seems like almost a year or 6 months now, but we stopped talking about KYC exchanges, and I took all my stuff out of there, and I said, I'm not using any of them. I'm using tier 1 exchanges, and it is what it is. And I'm going to have a defined plan, because this all seems like what Crypto Cooter is absolutely saying. Because now we got to keep it on the wallets. Now, what happens because this is part of their thing, they want day one when this happens, and it's a big topic of discussion, they want on the wallets for them to, all of a sudden, there are no KYC on practically all of them, which is why people like them. They want it to be to where you take your money off of those wallets, you have to do a KYC and put your licensing in place so they can have the tax record. I swear to you, that's what it says in the bill. They want it so that there's a way to link you for taxes. And the only way to really link you is to have you linked when you do your KYC, which is why you do it. The same thing gambling. People have done it for decades and eons. They go offshores because it's not linked to their ID, but the risk they run, well, one, when you put it back into your bank account, you have to account for that money. So there, you're taxed on that money, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Two, the risk of getting it into another account with your name on it when it doesn't have any kind of validity. Do you know how many people get ripped off every day? For every one person that gets it off, 10 others who won can never get their money. So this is all the stuff that I cold wallet, hot wallet, it doesn't matter to me. I don't like any of them. The moment the XRP ledger actually gave a back-end ability for the government to get into the holder stuff on the ledger, and they did it on purpose. I covered it years ago with the hook. That was it. That's all I needed to see. At the end of the day, the play is to just get all of our stuff taken away anyhow. So I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm running out of time. I've been on here for longer than I expected, and I know we're gonna have to pick up my son here soon. We'll continue with some of the other stuff later, but it's been a pleasure here, but it's been 2 hours I've been on these lives over. So, but we need to do this again. Maybe I'll come back on like this the next time. We'll keep talking, because this is a great topic of discussion here. Great topic of discussion. And I wish I didn't have to end it, but time's running away from me, guys. I apologize. Your own wallet is just seed phrases, but still on blockchain if you want to block access to them. Absolutely. And don't you think that's another reason why they want people on there when you have 20 different seed phrases? How many people are going to be able to remember that in 10 years? Think about it. How many people right now watching me, the only reason you can get into your wallet, and think about this, is because you haven't upgraded your phone and it's stored. What happens the first time you have to export your stuff? Trust me, it's not as easy as it seems. Go try to do it right now. When nothing's wrong. It's not. Half the time you can't even do it. You literally, half the time I have to create a new wallet when I was doing that and just send it to a new wallet when I redid a phone and cut my old one until I sent it all off and redid it. Even with the passphrase, half the time it wouldn't work. And I had the exact stuff written down, and it would always say, it would open it up, but it would say not able to export data or whatever. So, anyhow, be blessed, be safe, and consider what we talked about in this live. It's been a fantastic, awe-inspiring. I'm going to go, I got to eat so my muscles don't go to waste. You got to eat, otherwise, or I got to eat my protein. I haven't ate today. I'm getting hungry. Especially with this whole thing with the Fed stuff. Angry. So, what do you think of Wealth Simple? I've been with them for a while now. I don't know who that is. Honestly, I don't know who that is. I'll be honest. All I can be is honest, but I don't know who that is, though. But that's how I'm going to leave it. We're strong. We're charged. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, Yahweh, Yeshua, Emmanuel, Jesus Christ, God Himself. Say a prayer for Bearded Viking and Mighty Marcus as he's fighting the good fight. And be safe, be generous, and I hope to see you guys. Hopefully I can do this later. I just don't know. But we'll see if we can do it live tonight. Be blessed. Yeah, Julie, we had a lot to talk about.